Hey guys, over here. Today, well, I'm going to show you how to install overhead console in a, I guess you'd say 94 to technically 2000 GMT 400 extended cab, crew cab slash Suburban. I believe that's right. But anyway, I just installed one in my pickup recently, and I decided I'd make a video on all the measurements and stuff because there's not really a video on all the measurements. I couldn't really find the measurements online either. So I did the right thing and cut this out of a pickup so I could get measurements for a guy. But yeah, here's the measurements. I figured this is what most people want to see is the measurements. That's probably why. And there's the wiring. It's pretty simple. That's how I did mine and it worked. And I'll take you out to the pickup in a second and I'll show you some other things. But yeah, I believe it's for 88. Well, I'm pretty sure single cabs don't have the provisions for a overhead console. I think it's extended cabs, crew cabs, and like Suburbans. 94 up for sure. Because I put mine in 94 had provisions. But you gotta make sure you have the provisions first, because I've heard some people not having the provisions. I'm just kind of handing around so you can see all the measurements. Get one back here so you can like take a screenshot or something. And of course, these are kind of rough measurements because you can't really get that accurate measurements because it's curved pretty good. I measured just from the edge here. There's also a trim piece that comes in, so like you're not going to get these exact measurements. I measured this, like, even from the factory. This one's 22 5/8. This one should be 22 5/8, but I got 22 3/8. So these are just good ideas. What I would honestly do is like take this one and maybe go to 22 3/4, so you bring it in a little bit more, so you'd be a little more safe. And that's 8 inches. Doesn't really look like it, but I figured I'd show you. That's 8 inches. It's from the dome light edge all the way to this edge right here. But even that measurement's not super accurate because there's a brace there and it kind of goes, it goes, it has like a lump in it. So that measurement's not most accurate either, but these measurements don't have to be 100% accurate, just close. And like I said, I basically make all the measurements like 22 3/4, 22 5/8, bring everything in. That way, that's so you can always trim, you know. But yeah, I'll take you out to the pickup now. I figure should have that one right there is 6 1/4. I put that one upside down just to mess with you. I figured, same with that one, 10 1/4, just to mess with the guy. 2 inches right there. That one I'm pretty sure is fairly accurate. So 2 inches, and you don't have to make this big hexagon, I think is what it is. You could just go, whoop, just do a little like that, because this is for the short console, because it has holes for the clips in this area. It clips in for the short console. Well, a long console doesn't use those clips, so you honestly have to just go like that so you get front access to the screw hole. I didn't know that. I cut this hexagon in mine, but oh well. Factory always cut it, so. And those holes are for the fancier vanity sun visors, like with the mirrors and shit. So I guess I got those too if I ever find the red set. I'll take you out to the pickup now. I figure that's pretty good measurement. Good. Gives you a good idea where to cut. And there are a couple, there are a few different types of center consoles I found. Well, there's the older ones, and then there's the newer ones, and then there's Suburban, like SUV, and then there's pickup. Well, here's mine. This is a pickup console, because on a pickup console, this area is a lot narrow. It's kind of, I don't want to say moon shape, but I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't see. But this area right here, it's a nice black area that you can't see. There's a little moon shape. On the SUVs, it's like a big square for the heater controls. That's one different. That's the two main different styles: the pickup style and then the SUV style. So it'd be like Suburban, Tahoe, Yukon. things like that. And then this is an older version, because you can see the lens is smooth. There's not like it's not like a bunch of crosses, so you can put a Phillips, push in and twist, and the whole thing comes out. This is an older style where you take a little flathead right there, pop this lens off, and then you got to reach up in there and pull the bulb. Now the manual says that bulb is a 168, but doing some research, a 194 will work just fine. And what holds it in is a Phillips screw. I don't remember the exact length, but I know, if you know how long the park light screws are for your park lights to hold them in, it's a bit longer than that, but it's the same size, like the same diameter and stuff. And it's like a J nut, or I heard it called a J nut, heard it called a U nut, so not 100% sure, but it's like a little clip that clips into the sheet metal and the screws into it. But yeah, then what else? But yeah, here's that hump I was talking about, that one measurement. I measured from here to where the hole is, but you can see there's a hump right here, so that measurement can't be that accurate. I know that, but it gives you an idea. Like I said, cut well within those measurements. That way you can always trim. What else? Oh yeah, when you're putting the center overhead console in, a little trick I found out, to pull this panel off. You'll see there's a little, let's see right there, little spot for a flathead screwdriver. Get a little screwdriver, pop that off, put your screw in. It kind of will go up and back because there's hooks that hold the console in. And then when you take this panel out, when you got the screw up here, right here, you'll be actually able to see where that screw is lining up with that clip, because that clip moves around, screw moves around. It's real pain in the ass, so I recommend taking this panel off. Then you can actually just look and see right where you're at and get it started. And then you just pop this back in. And then after that, you should have a working center console or overhead console. And as for the wiring, like I mentioned, there's an orange wire and a black wire to get these to work properly. My dome light is on right now, but if I shut the door, these still work just fine. I know that was, some people have problems with them where they get them to work. If you open the door, they turn on, but then but you have to have the dome light to work. But if we go back here, I'll just show you. Let's see, there's 2 Phillips screws to hold that up. And you can see my ground wire right here. Lovely. I know I gotta work on that. And that's chassis ground. This is brown. I had to make the wires longer, but normally this is black if you have the long enough wire. But chassis ground. Then the orange wire, I just tapped into the orange wire. The orange wire goes to this, which powers these. So you want to hook into the power that powers these on, not the power that powers this on. That's the difference. So whatever colors, I don't care if they're like purple and green up there, you want to tap into the power that powers these, not the dome light. But generally, orange to orange, black to chassis ground, and then they should work just like factory. If they don't, well, I don't know what to tell you, but that's the rundown. And wiring them, like if you're taking one of these out of the junkyard, most likely you are, or you're buying it off like an internet. Like I bought this one off eBay. It came with the pigtail, so make sure to grab the pigtail. And then I had to go out and source the screw and stuff. So, but yeah, make sure to grab the screw and the clip, and make sure to grab enough wire. That way you can either extend it or maybe grab all the wire. Factory, I believe it ran all the way up and then down. So maybe not all of it, but you could grab a good chunk of it. That way you don't have to extend. I had to extend mine because I changed the orange to red and then the black's brown, but it still gets the job done. But yeah, that is how to install overhead console in a 94 to 99, technically 2000. The years are weird in these pickups, but 94 to 98 for sure, but at the same time, you want to double check you have the provisions, because I know some people will have like a 96 or something and they will not have the provisions. You don't really even have to take the headliner down to check. All you do is you take a pin, like there's a pin right there. You just kind of poke around until you feel that hole, feel the hole, because there will be like right in this area, like right in here, there will be, it'll have a brace and then two squares. You just kind of want to feel for that. If you have them, I almost guarantee you have the provisions up there. I took the whole headliner down and everything just to double check, because 94 is like the first year of the overhead console for these pickups. But at the same time, I don't think extended cabs actually in 94 ever came with them. Why they have the provisions, you'd have to ask GM. But they do work. And single cabs is a completely different story. No single cab at all has the provisions. It's a completely different setup in those to get one in, because you have to like break the back hooks that hook into the squares I was talking about, and you break those off and you just self-tapper it, and then you just run a screw in the top. It's doable in a single cab. People have done it and it looks pretty cool. Or you cut the squares in the roof on the single cab. Like you can do it, but it's a different. This is just for 94 extended cabs, crew cabs, like Suburbans and stuff. This is a long console too, I guess. Short console is like just this bit. It has the heater controls and the lights, but yeah, that is how, like I said, how to put an overhead console in one of these pickups. I will go inside, show you the measurements one more time. As you can see, by the way, just a little update, I did get new dome light switches, so the dome light turns on when I open the door. Kind of nice. And I put my cup holders back in. So my CB is just kind of chilling on the floor. Anyway, yeah, you got the measurements. You should be good. You can watch the video back. But yeah, that is how to put a console in one of these pickups. So thanks for watching.